Hello, darlings. I am Cassandra. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming. In this video, I'm going to share with you my experience with Wealth Magic by Damon brand. It's like I think it's about 4 months. I wrote down some tips and some things that I went through personally. When you are on this spiritual journey to wealth, it can be extremely lonely and frustrating when you have no one to talk to. And I know a review is different from, somebody really talking to you about what they learned and maybe adding some things that wasn't a part of the program but benefited them on the journey. So I want to make it very clear. One, I'm not being paid for this. This is all me because I love magic. I love to share. I'm a teacher by nature, y'all. I love talking to people and I love listening, but there is no sponsorship. This is all Cassandra. It has nothing to do with the Gallery of Magic. Nobody. This is my opinion and sharing my experience with you about the Wealth Magic program by Damon brand. I actually took some notes. I woke up with these notes on my mind. I woke up like my soul was already writing the notes and I just started jotting them down. So I wanted to share this with you before I move on to some new project and find the notes, somewhere lost in a pile of doll fabric or whatever. So for those of you this may be your first time meeting me, I am a doll maker. I don't really want to go through all that, guys. You see the dolls. I made these dolls. I write fantasy fiction. I have 2 master's degrees. I have a doctorate degree. I jumped out of high school. Yes, I did. I had 9th grade credit hours. I took my GED. It's a journey. It's a lot of stuff on my channel. I'm really chatty, but I don't want to waste time. But the reason I'm only sharing that is because sometimes I'm the type of person, before somebody can start telling me about their experience, I want to know, well, why should I listen to you? Like, what are you doing? Yeah, like, what make you think you can share your experience with me when you don't really seem like you have put forth a lot of effort in creating your own dreams? So I just want you guys to know that I've been a busy bee and I'm almost 60. This is my last year in my 50s, so there you go, right? So I have 2 adult children who are in their mid-30s, and so I've been around the block. So the first thing I want to tell you about the Wealth Magic program, from my perspective, the first thing I did, and let me just say this, I went through the program twice. The first time I did the program, I accidentally switched 2 of the sigils. And I talk about it, I think, in my review, which I'm going to, at some point, put all of the Gallery of Magic reviews in one playlist. But for now, I haven't done it. But basically, I accidentally used the wrong sigil with the wrong ritual, child, and it was at the end of the book, and it was a really small difference because in the beginning, I took a calendar with the days, and I wrote down, for each section of the program. I call it a program. It's a book, but I call it the Wealth Magic program. I wrote like all the days. So I had every day in my calendar outlined for the entire time. So, and if I missed a day, which I didn't, believe it or not, I did not miss a day, because I didn't want to. I don't know. I kind of enjoy ritual. I loved the process. You know what I mean? But long story short, If you don't have a calendar, get a spiral notebook, write everything, like write all of the different rituals for every single day. And I also printed out all the sigils, and that's how they and that's how I accidentally used the wrong one. And I realized it at the very end because an entity or a spirit, I tell the story in my review, but basically I'm sitting there and I hear a noise like something fall on the counter, and then an entity or a spirit embraced me, and it was really I'm not gonna sit here and say I wasn't afraid. It was weird because I had never felt anything like that before, and I was just like thinking, like, why would something, you know, like, I don't know, like, I just remember thinking, like, if something is embracing me, then there's something wrong. Like, there's something I'm doing wrong. Like, I don't, like, after I saged, yeah, I keep sage. I was like, what the hell? So I saged, and I got really quiet, and I meditated, and I looked, and it's like I immediately saw that I had used the wrong sigil. And I was almost finished. And not just with the book, but with that particular section of the book. So I debated if I should just start over again. Like, I wasn't really sure what to do. So I just started that particular section over again, and I just kept going. But it always made me feel like, well, did I do it right? Should I have started over again? But anyway, I started the program again, like maybe 2 or 3 years after that. But from the first time that I completed the program, the things, this is when I met Aquatic, the Demon of Wealth, and I started to I had a lot of my things on my YouTube channel for free, and Aquatic is like, girl, well, he didn't say that, but I'm just like to put things in my own words. This is not going to work. So I started taking down a lot of, like, my ideas, like a lot of the things in my Etsy shop. Now I was giving it, I don't know. I was giving all my patterns away, all my ideas away for everything. So that was one of the things I learned from that particular. I want to say during that, one of the major lessons from that particular time. But there was a lot of other stuff going on as well. But I don't want to get caught in the weeds. So anyway, I did the program again, and I think it's been maybe a year or so since I've completed it for the second time, and this time I didn't make any mistakes. I have a lot of videos on my channel where I received a lot of channel messages from Aquatic, the Demon of Wealth, about money, about pricing, about attracting the customers based on who you are, your clientele, work ethic. Oh my God, I could just go on and on, but I don't want this to be about that. I want this video to be about how to utilize, some tips, my experience on how I was able to go through it and learn from it, right? So, and I wrote it down. We're all here. So the first thing I'm going to tell you, besides the little basic thing, like, make sure you write out your days and what you're supposed to do each day, so you can clearly see when this section, starts and ends, like with a calendar where you can write, like, even if you could, what do you call those calendars for academics or whatever. But I personally think that's important to see where you're going and see where every section is, and for each section have the sigils and everything already laid out. Now, the other thing I'm going to tell you, and I do know that it's lonely because, who are you going to talk to? Yeah, people think you're crazy, right? And then you don't want to share it anyway. So this video is for somebody who is contemplating on going on, I want to say completing the Wealth Magic by Damon brand, or someone who is on that journey, or anybody who's thinking about it, who's been through it, or who's whatever. But this is for you. This is my experience, and you can share your experience. You can talk about it in the comment box below, but I just want to get this off my spirit. So the first thing I'm going to tell you to do is get out your comfort zone. Now, I know that sounds cliche, but let me explain this to you. If you are looking to be a different person and to, because we're all doing the program because we want to acquire more wealth, understand that the version of you that exists today cannot be the version of you that is going to become wealthy. I'm just gonna say that. What I mean by that is, if you're eating the same foods, watching the same TV shows, if you're not reading books, if you're not learning anything different, if you're going to the same grocery stores, if everything about you is the exact same thing, and the only thing you're doing different is the magic in the book, I personally don't see how it's going to change you. That's just my personal opinion. Now, me, I love to read. I have 3 books going at a time. Always have a book that you're reading that you don't understand, that's a little bit over your head, because reading is how the brain lift weights. It's how it's how you exercise your brain. The dendrites, the neurons in your brain get bushy, right? When you learn something new. There should be one book that you're reading that you're constantly looking up new words, and even when you put that book down, you still confused. You still don't know what's going on. That's good for you, because I promise you it'll make sense someday. And then you should have a book that's just for pleasure. I'm reading, I forget the name of stuff, but I'm still reading the Harry Potter series, and I'm reading this book. Oh, I can't think of the name. I don't want to waste time on that, but I have 3 books that I keep that I love to read. And then the other book that I read is usually a non-fiction book, and this book I'm reading is about the brain. I've always been fascinated with the brain and how to improve it and the whole nine. And what is the name of it? I guess I'm not thinking of it because that's not the purpose of the video. So 3 books, that's just me. People say, why? My kids are saying, why don't you just finish one? So what happens is I'll, read a little bit of each book every day. And then towards the end, I'll just dial in on one book. So typically I read about maybe a book a week, a book and a half a week, right? So, and the reason when I read, I get ideas. I get ideas from my own books. I get ideas from my Etsy shop. I get ideas about changing my life. And even from the fiction book, I get ideas. If you don't have a portal to bring in new ideas, new ways of thinking, new ways of being, I don't understand how it's going to change, how your life is going to change. I mean, maybe there is a way, but I'm just sharing my experience. So, one, make sure you're reading, right? Watch documentaries, like whatever you watch on YouTube, try to watch like different things. Like I just finished being obsessed with King Henry. I don't know if he's the 8th, but he was the one who beheaded his wives. And it just seems like he just popped on my feed, and I just watched video after video. And I don't know, I did one of my, I was going to say one of my masters. It's in medieval history, but that wasn't it. But, let me not get off the point. The point is, make sure that you're watching documentaries, that you're reading. Even no matter what you do, every day you should be expanding your mind in some way. So, and then the other thing I want to say is, even if you buy a new toothpaste, you should try new foods, eating foods that you've never eaten before. Anything you can do to open your reality up to a new experience, do it. And and it's not expensive. Like, take a different route home. Instead of, if you can, maybe you always drive to work. What if you just took the bus to work? What if you ride your bike? Or what if you walk? Take a different route. Even if you go to the grocery store, go to a grocery store that you've never been to before, because it's going to force your brain to get out of its habit. So you want to get your mind out of your daily grind, out of your daily routine. Now, it's been a while since I read the book, maybe Mr. Brand suggested some of these things that I'm talking about, but I know from just basic psychology that if you want to change yourself, you must try different things, whether it's toothpaste, using a different spice on how you make your eggs. And then another thing I would suggest, and this is just from my experience, is to give up something, because again, that's a part of altering your reality, altering your mindset. Like, give up sweets, or give up, see, I gave up wine, I thought, but I think wine I don't know, I feel like wine broke up with Cassandra, but long story, it just seems like I just kept messing with it, and it was just like, I'm done with you. But because I used to love wine, and but anyway, long story short, give up, chocolate or donuts, whatever it is, but just for 30 days, not the whole time. Because again, what you're doing is forcing yourself to be, you want to be extremely present in the moment. But if you are operating from like a robot, right? Because you're used to getting up, you're used to going to this store, you're used to eating this food, you're used to wearing these outfits, nothing is going to change. And then make sure you're doing something different every day. And then like I said, in terms of learning something new, going to seminars or workshops in your community. But another thing you can do, guys, and I found this to be really healing, is to teach other people what you know. Like, this is one of the reasons that I'm making this video, because all the studies show the best way for your brain to learn and retain information is by sharing your ideas, by sharing your experiences. So I am getting something out of this psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually by sharing my experiences with you. So teaching others, and even if it has nothing to do with wealth magic, but maybe there's a hobby that you have, maybe you're really good at math and you can have a channel teaching third graders how to do a certain math, or how to draw. Like, they're just start sharing something that you know well, or that you enjoy with other people, because that is so good for your brain. And it's another thing that really gets you out of the routine of doing the same thing every day. So I have everything creating, so you want to create cracks in your reality by doing something different, no matter how big or small. The next thing I have, this is really important to me. Now, I know that, like I said, this is Cassandra's experience. If possible, cook your own food. Food is, listen, your hands are magical. Your hands are magical, guys. Cooking your own food connects you with your heart. It connects your mind, your body, and your heart, and it heals you, and the vibration of that's being imbued in your meal. So while you are cooking, now put yourself in the best mood possible. Like, I like to bless my food. Like, this food is saturated with grace and love and peace and prosperity and health and well-being. Bless your food as you are making it. And even maybe if you live with someone or a family member that you trust, eat home cooked meals. Even if you don't have to make every meal, but try. I know people might not like this is my experience. Try not to eat out if you can, because I think that when, people, sometimes people, they just toss your food around. Your food absorbs their negative energy. They didn't want to go to work that day. They're, whatever is going on with them, it's going to be, the frequency of that meal is going to be in the frequency of their moods and their attitude and their beliefs. I'm serious. Is going to be in your food. Sometimes when I go to a fast food restaurant and I eat it, and it's just my mood switches, because it's like, I'm like, oh, why did I eat this low vibration of food? It's okay sometimes, but it's not for health reasons, but it's really because I think you're trying to change something about yourself that there may be some resistance. And if you did not grow up in a family where your dad was a millionaire, or if you know somebody who's wealthy, or you know somebody who's able to obtain the type of success that you are seeking, you've never seen a person in real life, you've only seen them in books and on TV, do you understand how important it is to protect your energy, to the things that you need to do to create this different reality for yourself? It's like, just be extremely conscientious about what you consume. I'm talking about food wise, as well as what you're watching, what you're reading, who you are allowing in your space while you are working on this Wealth Magic book, because it's for the spirits and the entities, the beings, the angels, to be able to bring about a change in your life. It's like you have to give them something to work with. That's how I would always say it. Give them something. Give them a way to break your current way of thinking and your current reality. The next thing is, this is probably a bad joke, y'all. This is not a joke. This is one of the things I want to say about food, is that, like sometimes when a family may have a maid, and then there's this joke about the husband ends up sleeping with the maid or whatever. I believe that it's not that the husband is, okay, let me say this. If the maid is cooking his food, she's washing his clothes, she's cleaning his house, she's minding his kids, for him to have a romantic connection to her, it seems like the natural next step, because that reality has been open. He is consuming her energy, her love, and the food, her frequency, her vibration. It doesn't matter what she look like. You know what I'm saying? Food is magical, and that's why. I don't know. You should cooking your own food is important, especially during this stage, and while you're doing the program. Not all of it, but if there's somebody in your home that you trust, that you love, and is imbued with love, that's even better. But I just think even the act of cutting and chopping and all of that is a very magical experience. So the third thing is take care of your root chakra. Oh my goodness. See, this is the thing about I think Henry the Eighth. I think it's King Henry the Eighth. He was this very fit, attractive king, and he was very successful, and women loved him. They said he was just a wonderful guy until he had an accident. I think he was very active and athletic, and there was some type of horse accident where I don't know if he was in some type of competition or whatever, but a horse fell on his leg, and he suffered with all types, like all kind of problems with his legs, and this has affected his health, his money, his confidence, everything. But that was his root chakra. Your root chakra, pay attention to your toes. Like, if you can't afford it, get a pedicure. If you can't afford it, do your own. Suck your feet. Get one of those dish tubs from the dollar store. Put some baking soda and vinegar in it, because baking soda and vinegar together actually cleanses, like, it's your aura. It really is a good cleanser. It helps ground you. So I don't want to make the video, just staying too long on one point. I'm trying to get through this quickly. But make sure that you really take extra care of your feet, your hygiene. Your feet your legs. Your root chakra is located at the bottom of your tailbone. Like, just really taking good care of your body in general, like doing jumping rope, hula hoop, stomping, walking outside. Like, I would go for walks, and I met some friends. There's some oak trees. 3 oak trees. They're like this, right? And so I would just take off my shoes, my bare feet, and I would talk to them, and it was just really cool. But long story short, if you can't, it's winter now, but please take care of your feet. Your feet are so important when you're working on wealth. All right, your legs and your thighs, your buttocks, a whole, because, yeah. And I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to make the video. I'm only on 3, and I think I have 9 points, and I'm in 25 minutes. This is already too long. So, oh, another thing, you can wear red panties, red clothes, dresses, red bed sheets. All of these colors, they really help balance out your root chakra, which is your money. Okay. The 4th thing, I want you to know your money area in your home. Like, I'm telling you, you're working on wealth, you need to know. I don't care, because I have found that when I was working when I'm always working about, the angels would communicate with me. Like, I would see things in my money area that I knew that I needed to change, or I knew. So your wealth area is basically, if you walk in the room, and I usually keep something right here, but I wasn't. You walk in the room, and wherever your left foot, say you were to walk in the middle of your room and you were to lie down, spread eagle, the corner where your left foot is, child, that's your money area. That is your money area. Is there a garbage can? Is there a water leak? The element is wood. The colors are green, blue, red, and purple. Do you have things in that area that represent wealth? Do you have things like, if you really look in that area, your instincts would kick in. But there are things you can do to help, like the colors, having like healthy plants. Do not have plants in your home that are not healthy. When plants start to wither, if you can't take care of them, it's just not good feng shui. It's not conducive to good health or to building wealth. So be very conscientious about sick or ailing things around you. And the other area in your home, I think, is super important. So you know where that left foot is, like your spread eagle in the middle of that room. Imagine your left arm was in the corner, in the exact opposite corner on the same left side. That is your knowledge and wisdom area. That area is super important because it's going to help you stay motivated and help you stay on the journey with the Wealth Magic program. The element is earth. Like, it's about, the colors are blue, green. You know what? I don't want to make the video about that because you can find a lot of stuff about feng shui on the internet. I have a lot of stuff on my channel covering all of the sections they call bagwas of feng shui. But that area, if that area is clean and organized, it's going to help you stay focused and help you not procrastinate, and you'll get more out of the program knowing that you are extending. Your home is also supporting your efforts. And then there's one more area. So you know how your left arm is in your wisdom area? Okay, now your right arm, now you're in the middle of the floor, right? And your spread eagle, where your right arm, where it goes, that corner, I call it the right hand man. That is your helpful people area. That is your heavenly team. And when you're working with, listen, I'll tell you something. That is the area where the being, when I told you guys I used the wrong sigil, they came in through that area. Yes, they did. So I always know that like sometimes when my ancestors are trying to get my attention, I know the different areas. I know I know what's going on because of my home. I know. So don't want to make this long or complicated, but that your helpful people area, your angelic team, your spiritual team. This is, you know, this is also your area of protection. A lot of information, a lot of free information on the internet. There are some books about feng shui, but those three areas, to me, when you're working with the entities and the spirits and the angels, and you're trying to bring about a change in yourself to bring this money to your life, you want to have a way to communicate with them. And remember, your home is an extension of your body, of your aura, of your energetic field. So just those three areas, but all of the areas are important. But just for me to get through these points, I'm at 30 minutes, way over. Okay, I wanted this video to be 20 minutes. The next thing I would say do, this is very cliche, but things are cliche for a reason. Drinking a lot of water is so good for you. Like, I know if you're not drinking water, I'm telling you, I don't know what it is, but when you drink a lot of water, it keeps you grounded. It's not about, I know that people can look at it, you know, from a physical aspect of keeping you hydrated. But to me, when I am drinking a lot of water, for lack of a better word, a lot, I just feel like ideas flow to me better. I feel more connected to the, ethers, to what's around me. Like, my senses are stronger. So I think water is it's like I want to say conduit, but it's an energy that allows okay, this popped in my head. Now, I don't know sorry. I don't know if this makes sense, but I think that this is the way I like to think of it. So you're ice because we're in a dense 3D body, right? And the energies who are trying to help us and get information to us, relay information to us, they are at a higher vibration. So they are, let's just say that they are like maybe mist. Mist is trying to get a message to ice. And it's like and they would lose their essence if they allow themselves to become too dense. And if we allow ourselves to become too light, we would lose our body. So we have to kind of like meet in the middle somehow. So, and the way for us to meet in the middle is, Mist is saying, what can you leave around, or how can we communicate in a way so I have to remain in my essence to be who I am on the realm and the dimension where I reside, and you need to remain in your dimension. But I know that there's things that I can see and ways that I can help you, but I need to be able to relay that information to you. So this is where meditation is so important, like your consciousness and all, like when you're quiet. So Mist is trying to get to you. It's trying to get ideas to you. And that's another thing. Those insights and ideas that you get, follow them. Like, I'm not saying do something crazy. I'm saying that sometimes the smallest idea is training you for the next idea, because they can't write a book. They can't say, sometimes they can, like in a dream. Like my Jungle Beauty Goddess book series came to me in a dream, the whole first book one. So sometimes things do come to us in dreams, but most of the time we get little bits and pieces like a puzzle. So meditation is really important. Drinking a lot of water is important. I like to do yoga breaths, guys. If you try this, I'm telling you, you breathe in to the count of 9. Like, I don't want to do the whole thing because I'm trying to get through this. So you breathe into the count of 9 with your tongue at the top, right here behind your 2 front teeth at the top, the roof of your mouth. So you taking a deep breath to the count of 9. You hold that breath to the count of 9 and you release that breath to the count of 9. I do 80 of those a day. I started out doing 10, 20, 30. They relax me. You can feel the energy through your toes. And then after I do my yoga breaths, I do like a breath where I blow. I have my tongue at the top of my mouth and I blow from the depths of my belly, like right at the bottom. Your belly should be going in and out right at the bottom, right? And I do 1,000 of those, and then I like to meditate. And meditation is really just being quiet, and this connects you to your spiritual team. This connects you. It keeps you, grounded. And sometimes it makes me a little high, like what I mean. Like I just feel like really loopy, like, but anyway, that's a whole nother issue. Not an issue, but I want to keep it moving, Cassandra. The next thing, and I want to say, I went from 5 to, I don't know if this is 6 or 7. Guys, I lost count. The next thing you should do is, I was going to say, you may be nudged to do new things. It can be very subtle. I think spiritual enlightenment is very subtle. I had this, I said truth and enlightenment and sleep, they're best friends in a way, or they share the same energy in the sense that sometimes I have trouble sleeping and I'll get really sleepy, but I'll fight it off because I'm busy. And then the sleep is like, well, girl, I'll be gone. I'm gone. I'm out. And then I have this couple days I'm wrestling with trying to get some sleep, because when sleep says, Cassandra, let's go to bed, I should listen. But I find that ideas are kind of like sleep. Ideas and truth, like red flags that come in and they're like, hey, what about this? And you're thinking, no, I shouldn't do that, or whatever. And then the idea is gone. Like it's unlike sleep, it doesn't come back. And truth to me is one of those things where when you see a red flag about a person, it's like, and you have an insight for a moment, or a sense of enlightenment, and you're like, that couldn't be. And then you might spend the next 5 years like, you know what? I should have paid attention, right? But anyway, long story short, pay attention to ideas, enlightenments, and what I'm talking about people, the people who surround you are a big part of your ability to access wealth. And the reason I say this is because if you are, oh God, this video is too long. You're working on building wealth, right? And you're with people who are telling you, oh my God, you can't write, or you're stupid, or you're never going to make it, or what are you doing? Like, why are you so weird? Like, whatever it is, because that's the story. It's like, it's hard to hear mist. It's hard to hear these entities and angelic beings who are trying to get information to you, right? Because you are surrounded, because it's almost like their aura or their energy block mist, because mist is a very light energy. So you have to clear the energetic field, your home, your energy, so that you can hear these messages that will help you utilize these ideas on how to move your life to the next level, if that makes sense. Now, I was saying in a previous video that one of the things that happens when you really say, you know what, I need my life to change. I need more. I need something better. You'll notice resistance with like your friendships. Like you'll notice that there are things that you can't handle, or that you can't tolerate, right? You may be in a relationship where your significant other may start to compete with you or not support you. It can get, this is a journey. This is a very, to me, what I experienced, the wealth magic journey is one where you have really just decided, I am going to harness my soul's force energy, my higher self, my spiritual team to work with the entities and beings in this program that Mr. Brand has put together in this Wealth Magic book to elevate my life. And sometimes, guys, I think you might think, oh my God, I don't know if this is working. If you have more confidence in yourself, if you have an idea that you're still working on, a book that you're still writing, listen, the type of wealth you're trying to build is not an overnight thing. We're not talking about getting a job at McDonald's. We're not talking about just going to school and getting a degree. We're talking about that legacy, that generational wealth. And it may take a time to build you up to be the person who can handle that level of wealth. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's why this journey is so it's so important to take care of your health. Be conscientious about your friends and the company you keep, and understand that they may not all wish you well. And I'm telling you, you might experience a breakup. And Lord Jesus, I'm just gonna be honest. It is nothing like an evil ex that hates you. There is nothing. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. It doesn't matter why you broke up. But I promise you, if you have an ex out there who is mad at you for not, communicating with them anymore, without sharing your energy with them anymore, it doesn't matter what they did. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. That is some strong energy coming for you. So this is why I would say, work on your protection as well. Protection is so important. The magic has protection, but oh God, I can't get it. There's this fruit. Anyway, I cannot think of it. I'm gonna make a video about different foods that can actually break curses and block spells. When I was working with my Wealth Magic program, my ancestors came through. I just started eating cinnamon. I started eating okra. There is another one. Oh my God. I just out the blue, I want to put all this stuff on the internet, but and then I was like, why am I eating this? I don't normally eat this. Why am I craving this? And I said, there must be a spiritual reason. I looked it up, and there it is. There's a deep protection in a lot of these different foods that I'll make a separate video. But I know okra, cinnamon, and the other one, I can't think of the name of it because it was something I had never heard of before. But yeah, so that's why I'm telling you the importance of knowing who's making your food, or making at least one of your meals a day. So maybe your maid is making dinner. Make breakfast for yourself and honor that breakfast. And I like to share my breakfast with my holy guardian angel. We about to do breakfast, we're gonna have some coffee and waffles this morning, darling. But anyway, get into making your meals special, having flowers on the table, candles, just for you, you and your spiritual team, you and the beings, be in a place of peace. And then the other thing is your aura, energetic bodies interact with the people you hang around. They can the people you hang around can delay your blessings. I don't care what anybody say. Now, the simplistic way to think of it is like this. Let's just say that, oh my God, please God, help me wrap this video up. Have you ever called your kid in the house because you want to give them something, but you don't want to give it to their friends? Or, long story short, the people that you are around can delay your blessings. I'm not gonna say they can block them, but they can delay them, because what you're working on and what's meant for you, their vibration may not be a match for it. I want to say God knows what they're doing behind your back, who they are. God is look, dude, when you get yourself together, get your confidence up, and I got something really good for you. When I say good for you, not that he's handing it over to you, but sometimes you don't get the things that you are working for because the people you are around are not good for you. And that's just simple facts. So anyway, let me see one more thing. Oh no, I'm gonna have to stop this. So Oh, this is the other thing I was going to say from my experience. What you think about when you start the Wealth Magic program, and what you want when you start the Wealth Magic program, and what you want at the end of it may be two totally different things. Because once you align yourself with your desires and you really take all of the exercises seriously, I found that I changed, right? I realized what I really wanted. Don't be afraid of that. If you're, and what else did I want to say? Oh, the last point I want to make is that you can't manifest from a mindset of lack. And I think this is something that's integrated into the Wealth Magic program. This is something that he talks about, but I want to explain it to you the way I understand it, the way I experience it. I feel like when we talk about having a lack mindset, like I was always thinking, how am I going to pay off these student loans? I came in with lack. My mindset was lack. But what if when you're working on the Wealth Magic program, what if you are just like, if I never receive anything else in my life, I am going to honor the riches of everything I have right now. This coffee I just made is delicious. My eggs are good. I am enjoying the sunlight. I see this cardinal outside my window. I love the blue. Like what if you decide from this very moment, I have my eyesight, I can see, I can hear, I can talk, I can walk. I know people who are less fortunate than me. I am rich already. I am a very extremely, that's the mindset I have now. That I told myself, I am rich. I love myself. I have talent. I'm kind. Whatever you have. I have people that love me. I have my kids. I have a job that I adore. I love my students. I am a very rich woman. My life is juicy and meaningful. You know what I mean? If you every day wake up, I'm rich no matter what happens. I'm rich because I'm here. I'm rich because I had an opportunity to be on planet Earth at this time. I'm already rich. And with this richness inside of me, how am I going to share this, version of myself? What legacy am I going to leave behind? How am I going to let the world know that I was here? Because I am already rich because I'm here. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Because now you are manifesting and you are working from a state of wholeness, as opposed to, oh God, I can't wait till I get rich. I'm already rich. I'm already rich because of blah, 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 blah. So those are, let me see. So those are the points that I have on how I was able to get through the program. And there's a lot of videos on my channel just talking about my experience in more detail. But this was just, I wanted to show you. I just wanted to share with you some techniques and some ideas on how to, just how to manage your time and enjoy your experience with the Wealth Magic program book by Damon Brand. I really hope this video helps someone. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you, darlings, in the next video.